We got Brute Saint coming in here with a big $10 donation. Massive donation. We really appreciate your support.
Thank you,
here's to another good season. Hopefully this division makes some noise, man. I mean, look, whether you are a Falcons fan, a Bucs fan, a Saints fan, a Panthers fan, you want your division to be good, right? You want it to be one of the best in football. You want to represent. I mean, usually you hate each other, but that's kind of the one time a year where you come together and you're like, look, let's make this division one of the best in football, man. Week 1, you guys are playing your in-division rival Falcons. James, what matchups are you looking for in this game? And of course, what are you taking in this game with your score prediction?
The big matchup that's going to be worth paying attention to is Charlie Heck at left tackle versus the Falcons pass rush. Look, the Falcons did a lot to add to their pass rush this year. They brought in Leonard Floyd. They drafted James Pierce Jr. in round number 1. They drafted Jalen Walker in round number 1. So they've added a lot to that defensive side of the ball, right? The Bucs are dealing with a similar situation where one of their star offensive linemen is out. It's Tristan Wirfs, the best offensive tackle in the league. And the Bucs have to accommodate for that lack of Wirfs being out there. That's going to be quite the test for Josh Grizzard, who is, again, coaching his first NFL regular season game as an offensive coordinator. So without Chris Godwin being there, without Jalen McMillan being there as well, Emeka Egbuka is going to have to step up in that circumstance and win some of those matchups against Mike Hughes. Hassan Reddick, who is basically trying to be on this path of redemption from his time with the New York Jets, trying to become that double-digit sack artist he has been in the past. And he's going to be going up against Elijah Wilkinson now at right tackle. So that is going to be a matchup that, quite frankly, he has to win for the Bucs defense to get going in this upcoming game. Similar thing with Yaya Diaby, some of the defensive guys that they have in there as well. That is going to be a big matchup. Of course, you've got to talk about the defensive line, Vita Vea, Logan Hall, Kalijah Cansey versus, quite frankly, the lifeblood of the Falcons offense, which is that running back duo of Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier. They had 2,000 yards rushing combined last year. And get after Michael Penix as well, because, of course, this is a big opportunity for Penix. This is where you really start to see everything, all of the hype that we've heard about. You know, now the conversations are over and it's time to see what's there. Ultimately, I do have the Bucs winning this game. Right now, today, I still don't trust in the combination of Raheem Morris and Michael Penix until it is proven otherwise. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I do have the Buccaneers winning this game. I think they will be able to go out there and win this matchup. The Falcons and the Bucs have always played close. In fact, fun fact, this series right now is 32 wins to the Falcons, 31 wins to the Bucs. Yeah. Berto? Are you a religious man?
Amen.
You better pray to God the Falcons win this game, because if they don't, not only am I going to make sure that you don't hear the end of it. You see those two guys beneath us? They are not going to let you hear the end of it.
That's all right. That's okay. We got to make this exhilarating and fun for the viewers.
All of the conversation that you have made all three of us listen to. Yeah. Michael Penix being the next coming of Jesus Christ, okay, and Raheem Morris being the next Bill Belichick. Okay, you better hope to God the Falcons come out here.
Not the UNC Bill Belichick from last night, right?
Yeah, well, listen, he's got his girlfriend on the sidelines. I don't know what's going on with that situation, okay?
Now to the Falcons, of course. Yeah, sure. You know, there's a lot of moving pieces in this Falcons defense, and that's going to be what most of the focus is going to be on. What can this Falcons defense do to stop the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers team that in 2 matchups last year moved the ball pretty efficiently and effectively against us Falcons. Now, did we acquire talent to try and stop the Bucs? Absolutely. Jalen Walker, James Pierce Jr. We have Brandon Dorlus, Rukawororo, and also Leonard Floyd, who we acquired in free agency this year. So it's a different Falcons defense. We added more playmakers to the back end of the defense, and nickelback Billy Bowman and Xavier Watts out of Notre Dame. And that, I would say, is that's the key in slowing down our kryptonite there, Mike Evans. Yes, I'm shouting him out because he is a future Hall of Famer, and I do recognize real. James, you've alluded this on so many occasions that, first-time play caller, what is he going to be? What is he going to do? What is he going to show? Last year he was Liam Cohen's right-hand man in the third down packages and things like that. And the Bucs were pretty good in that area. For the Falcons offense, I think we're going to see a lot of the same thing. The bread and butter is the run game. I don't think the Falcons are going to shy away with that. And I think we're going to really cater to Michael Penix's strength, which is his arm strength. We're going to keep the game simple, I believe, and make him be tactful and decisive in certain throws that he makes. We did attack them in several areas, primarily in the hash last year, as Kyle Pitts, Drake London, Darnell Mooney all had success in big games against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And as I mentioned in the beginning of the show, Tampa Bay really didn't, address that need in the draft other than Jacob Parrish, who's their starting nickel. Like James mentioned, it is, always a close affair when these two teams meet. I'll say Falcons 23, Bucks 20, and the kickoff for week 1 with the Falcons winning 23-20.
Could have said 28-3, Berto, which you did.
Not going there, sir.
Now,
not going there. That would be a slight to James. How dare you talk about James like that? 28-3.
Hey, look, well, we got James coming out here with a Bucks victory. We got Berto coming out here with a Falcons victory. Let's see how the unbiased two guys below think about this game. Clay, let's kick this off to you. What do you think about this big in-division game for week 1?
I think the keys for them to win this game is you cannot let Hassan Reddick destroy the game. Like with having Wilkinson out, right? Or you have Wilkinson in, right? Elijah Wilkinson, offensive lineman. You bring him in, right? You got to give Michael Penix a chance to breathe against Hassan Reddick, right? If he doesn't, this Falcons game plan can collapse really quick. So Raheem Morris can talk all week about confidence in Wilkerson, but the only confidence that matters will come Sunday when Reddick lines up wide and dares Penix to trust his protection. The biggest thing is that defense. James Pierce Jr., Jalen Walker, Xavier Watts, Billy Moman, like you're trotting out the youth movement out there, which, we're doing in Carolina as well. But I want to see what these guys have, dropping them into secondary against a veteran quarterback. You got with a deep receiver room, Walker and Pierce, they're going to be tasked to obviously generating pressure against one of the league's most disciplined offensive line. So I want to see what they can do there. And I think another thing is Michael Penix has just got to play grown man football. He doesn't need to go out there and throw 350 yards. He just needs to avoid the rookie mistakes. He's still a rookie in my eyes. He only started 3 games and played 5, I think, games last year. If he can walk out of this game with 0 interceptions and a couple big timely throws, the Falcons have a shot, right? I think that for the Bucs, you got to make Penix play hero ball as well. Keeping Penix off the field, establish a run early, control the time of possession, make Atlanta's rookie defenders stay on the field longer than they want to. Bijan Robinson can't beat you from the sideline. If they can set the tone early, stuff the run on the first down, force Penix, into 3rd and longs, let Reddick and company go to work, and then at the end, the depth doesn't matter there. But I just think at the end of the day, I think the Buccaneers have the edge where it matters most, and that's just experience and stability and an identity that doesn't waver. I think that the Bucs get the final dub 27-20.
TJ, take it away.
When it comes to the Atlanta Falcons, the addition of Leonard Floyd scares me for the Buccaneers because this guy plays insane. Like when he's on turf for some apparent reason, he plays faster. He plays way more aggressive. He had 10.5 sacks last year, and that's incredible. So it's going to be tough for Baker Mayfield to go out there, man. But he has a lot of offensive talent, man. He can get the ball down the field. I do not trust the secondary of the Atlanta Falcons. And I just think that secondary, they have a tough outing, man. Emeka Egbuka, everybody's talking about him stepping up. That young man is incredible to watch. He's a disciplined route runner, and it would not surprise me if he goes over 100 yards because the most attention going to be on Mike Evans. Last season, we know that the Atlanta Falcons swept the Bucs, all right? And I'm pretty sure the Bucs understand that, and they're going to have that in the back of their mind going into Atlanta. I got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers winning this football game.
Can the Carolina Panthers come out with the win to start off 2025 on a hot note?
Young can't be asked to play hero ball week 1. You can't do that with him. You got to be able to keep him upright. You can go ahead and kiss that game goodbye. So that's the biggest thing is protecting Bryce Young. I think that, though, we didn't see a lot of it in the preseason. I think Carolina is really going to commit to the run game. I'm not worried about Trevor Etienne or Tank Bigsby as much as some of these running backs in the league, but you got to prevent Trevor Lawrence and Brian Thomas Jr. establishing rhythm early. So that's where I think that they've got to execute the most. It'll be close, but I think it'll be 24-20, the Panthers at the end of the day.
TJ, who are you taking in this one?
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go with the Carolina Panthers in this game. I mentioned this on the last show, and I wasn't just saying this. The Carolina Panthers were a much improved football team last season down the stretch. Bryce Young was playing some of his best football, completed 61% of his passes, 2,100 yards, 16 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, 5 rushing touchdowns. I just think that people aren't really paying attention to this guy's development because the narrative was, oh, he's not good enough, oh, he got benched. I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I think it's going to be pretty phone booth. But I think the Carolina Panthers are going to pull it off and start the season off 1-0.
James, let's go up to you. Are you going to make it 3 out of 3 Carolina Panthers, or are you going to take the first upset?
Yeah, there's just a lot of weird stuff going on in this game. 2 former number 1 overall picks as well going toe-to-toe. It's just there's a lot to this game. I am going to give this game to the Panthers. I love the fact that they have 2 1,000-yard rushers in that backfield as well, Chuba Hubbard and Rico Dowell. I think that that's great, and I agree with Clay's points of, hey, make this a effort where you're controlling the game, you're grinding out the football, running the ball, and you are taking that pressure off of Bryce Young and just playing sound, solid defense. I feel like that is the key to victory there for Carolina, and I do think they will win this game.
No, I'm going to be the goddamn villain in this one. No, I think that the Carolina Panthers off the gate will struggle against the Jacksonville Jaguars. I just don't think that Carolina is going to come out and win. I think Jacksonville has the defensive pieces, Eric Armstead, Trayvon Walker, Josh Hines, Allen, Foye Oluokun. They have enough defensive pieces to keep Bryce Young at bay. You see that when pressure does come about, Bryce Young, he does fold. So I'll keep it short and sweet. I'll say 27-20 Jacksonville Jaguars.
TJ, let's kick it to you because you are playing in the 1 p.m. slate this Sunday for week 1. Kyler Murray and the Cardinals. Break this one down for me. And, of course, who do you think is going to win? I'm
very, very concerned about the red zone offense of the New Orleans Saints. Like, who is going to be that guy who is going to be the red zone threat? I mean, you got Devine Vele, who you traded for. That was his calling card when he was in Denver. They really utilized him in a red zone. Juwan Johnson, I mean, I'm not ready to just call him a red zone threat. So I'm just wondering where that's going to come from. Are we going to be seeing Blake Groupie time after time? That is the question. And I can tell you this, you're not going to win many football games like that. You decided that you wanted to go with Spencer Rattler as your quarterback. The Saints are going to have to rely on the running game, and some of these wide receivers are going to have to find ways to get open. The best thing about Kellen Moore is his ability to be able to call some of these mesh routes where guys can be able to make catches and make moves. I'm also interested to see, will he allow Chris Olave to be more of a down-the-field threat? That was his calling card at Ohio State. I mean, his ability to be able to stretch the field. So hopefully they can be able to not only add Rashid Shaheed to that, but add Chris Olave as well. Brandon Cooks, if he can provide something, a few catches per game, I think it'll be beneficial. You also got to be able to run the football with Alvin Kamara. Kendre Miller looked pretty good in the preseason. Let's see if that can translate to the regular season. Let's see if health can translate to the regular season as well. And also this offensive line. I mean, they had some struggles. You got some guys that are banged up, but you got 2 young guys on the left and the right side, Calvin Banks on the left. You got Talase Fuaga on the right. So you want to see what these young offensive linemen can be able to do. My biggest concern is the secondary. I mean, the last time I seen Kool-Aid McKinstry, he was out there getting worked by Cortland Sutton. And when you have a second-year guy like Marvin Harrison Jr. coming into town, that's a tough matchup. And then you also have Mike Wilson. You also have the running game. You got to be able to stop James Conner, who can run in between the tackles, catch the ball out of the backfield, and also Kyler Murray. The Saints have struggled in years past with mobile quarterbacks. Will Brandon Staley be able to absolve the New Orleans Saints of those sins that they had year after year when it comes to these mobile quarterbacks? This is a game that the New Orleans Saints can indeed win. If the defense can hold Arizona at bay, which is going to be hard to do, in my opinion, especially when it comes to the passing game, I think they can find themselves in a winnable game. I think that the Saints are going to win this football game by a field goal.
James, let's go on up to you. Are you also going to take the Saints in this one?
I think that the Saints, as I said in the past, have some interesting pieces, and I do appreciate the direction that they are going under Kellen Moore. Okay. And we know the score of what the Saints are. They are a rebuilding team. Unless they just go absolutely crazy and go on a freaking run, that's what I perceive them to be. So to make it simple, yes, I do have the Arizona Cardinals winning this football game, beating the Saints.
Berto, let's call it over to you.
Yeah, look, unfortunately, I'm going to take the Arizona Cardinals in this one. I just think their defense is going to overwhelm Spencer Rattler. What we all know here is Spencer Rattler is a turnover machine when pressure is at his face. He's 0-6 as a starter. And you look at that Cardinals defense, Josh Sweat, newly signed Josh Sweat, Jordan Burch out of Oregon, good pass rusher, rookie pass rusher that they acquired. Calais Campbell, the veteran, is back on that squad. Delvin Thomas. They just have a lot of defensive pieces that, it's going to make it a long Sunday for Spencer Rattler, unfortunately. So for that reason, man, those reasons alone, I'm going with the Arizona Cardinals on this one.
Clay, who you taking?
I think Alvin Kamara, the Saints offense is really going to revolve around him. Using his dual threat skill set early, get him frequent touches. So it takes the stress off of Spencer Rattler against an Arizona defense that has been rebuilt and looks pretty dangerous, honestly. So you need to keep Rattler comfortable. I think Chase Young has to be a disruptor. He needs to step up, be that true disruptor they brought him to be in there. Getting pressure on Kyler Murray off the edge is absolutely critical. Control the tempo, grind it out of style. I think the Saints' path to victory lies in a messy, clock controlling, mistake forcing game rather than a high scoring shootout. I think it's going to be closer to what people think, but I'm going to go 21-17 Arizona.
We will be back next week to recap everything that happened in week 1 and preview week 2. But until next time, appreciate you guys for watching. And of course, stay safe.
Yes, sir.